Hi, my name's Tess Devine. I'm a Deputy Principal at Cambridge Park High School, and this is my autobiographical response to my learning through the Master of Education program. My learning through this course has been significant. It's completely transformed my understanding of the educational landscape. My specialisation has been in educational leadership, and as a Deputy Principal, I've learnt not only about my own role as a member of the senior executive at my school, but also about the role of leadership in education more generally. And a number of theorists have impacted my learning, and I have woven much of this learning into my practice. The leading change subject that I completed probably had the most impact on my everyday practice. In particular, Stephen Kemmis and his work on action research that I learnt through this subject provided me with a model for introducing change in a really structured way. I utilised this model in introducing a new idea for feedback on assessment tasks, in particular at my school, based on the work of Hattie and Timperley. Using Kemmis's work and others that I learnt in this subject, I was able to gain buy-in from a large group of staff. I was able to create a community of practice to build skills and understanding within the school and also beyond. I was also able to trial the model using Kemmis's action research model for trialling and implementing new ideas, and then able to modify it to produce the best outcomes in my context. Another theorist that I've found has had a great impact on particularly my leadership style is Michael Fullan. His ideas on managing change in education I've found particularly insightful. I've used his suggestions for bringing along others through change within my school, and in my context change is constant. It's a complex environment. It's a low SES school, comprehensive high school in Western Sydney, and I've had to use relationship building and effective communication in order to make sure that the things that we need to do for our students get done. The other thing that I've understood from his work is that some change is implemented for the wrong reasons and therefore is likely to fail. And it's helped me to really critically analyse those changes, particularly the ones that are imposed upon schools, and understand what the agendas are behind them, particularly neoliberal and neoconservative agendas in education, and try to analyse how they might impact on the school and on the students' learning. I think the importance of authentic leadership and change that is positive is a critical thing that I've learnt from the work of Michael Fullan. A key site of learning has been around the work of Bob Lingard in introducing me to a theoretical frame for understanding the educational landscape. In particular, the interplay between contexts and individuals using the ideas of Bordeaux relating to habitus and fields. I found that it's really helped me understand that schools don't just live in a little microcosm, and that that educational leaders have to work within different fields and consider the needs of multiple stakeholders, including that of the school, the staff, the students, the community more broadly, the political landscape and understanding the impacts of that, understanding how communities of learning beyond the school can work, and understanding the educational field in a global sense more broadly. This area of learning for me highlighted the challenges of educational leadership. It's helped me to understand how neoliberal agendas and globalisation impact on the everyday practice of school leaders and how I can work better within that frame. Another writer and researcher that I found gave me a new insight into education from a completely different perspective was Carol Buckey, and her "What's the Problem" represented to be approach was an education transforming experience for me in learning about that. It allowed me to analyse policies like local schools, local decisions, a New South Wales policy for accountability in schools, and it's helped me to understand why such policies are introduced, who benefits from them, whether or not they achieve their stated goals, and if there are unintended consequences. I was able to use her work to more critically identify neoliberal forces in education, and to also integrate the work of Ball, Apple, Blackmore and many others in this field into my understanding of policy development. This area constituted a defining moment for me when I felt that I finally understood the broader underlying issues in education. I no longer felt trapped in the limited environment of my school or my community, and I could see beyond that field into what is a complex area of policy. I've found all my subjects useful in my practice and my understanding of education, and the whole course has been transforming for me. I've had many eye-opening moments, but the positives of this are balanced with some of the frustrations I now feel with the field of education and its role in social change. I think that I see more clearly what's really important as an educational leader, and I want to focus on social justice and equity regardless of the forces acting to limit these changes. And I think those forces are many and complex, and understanding them helps me to cut through the distractions in my everyday work and hopefully make a real difference to students and their well-being.